in the longwall where I am at the moment, it's a lot of cracking and a lot of thunder-like noises, and the first few days down in the longwall, that really scared me.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I found out that's just normal, so you don't panic about that after a while.
Welcome to the Beers with a Miner podcast, episode number 33. My name is Mad Mumzie, and I've been driving the huge dump trucks in Australian open cut mines for over 10 years now. I wish I had $1 for everyone who said to me, "How does a little thing like you drive those big trucks? You must be rich. Oh, how do I get a job doing that?" My mining friends are asked these questions all the time too. This is what started the Mad Mumzie journey to share stories and tips from living a mining lifestyle and to let others know what it's really like. Tune in each episode as I sit down for a relaxed chat, usually over a few beers, with a fellow miner. Women and blokes with various experience, roles and opinions share their lessons and stories with you. Not everyone is cut out to be a miner, but why not? What does it take to thrive and survive in this industry? Now, let's dig in. Get it? Dig? Mining? It cracked me up. This week I'm chatting with Saraya, an electrician in an underground coal mine. She's 21 years old, I just found out, and as we record this, it's the day after International Women's Day 2017. I flew down to the big smoke of Brisbane, or Bris Vegas as it's commonly known, for the FIFO Awards breakfast. Women in Mining and Resources Queensland. What a fantastic morning it was, held at the Sofitel with over 500 people. I even bought a new frock and some shoes in Mackay. I didn't think even my best thongs would cut it out for this time, as my listeners know I'm not a shoe person. A shoe person that we do know is Kirsty O'Callaghan from Separated by Work, who I've interviewed twice. I'll leave a link to her episodes in the show notes. And she picked me up from the airport, went back to her place for the afternoon, and we hung out, had a lovely dinner with her family, a couple of wines, and then we got up really early and got on a train. Oh, that was an experience. I felt like a real country girl jumping on a train and, what's this go-kart thing? And it was hilarious. But I bring this up because the real miner told me to make sure that I catch up with Saraya. She was an apprentice electrician on his crew and was a finalist in the awards. So he had texted Saraya and told her to watch out for me, and I was excited to hear that she was excited to finally meet Mad Mumzie. Oh, what, really? I watched her head up on stage to receive her certificate, and I remembered what she had on and what her hair was like, so I could stalk her out after when the awards are over. And luckily we did manage to run into each other. We got a couple of photos and a selfie, sent them off to the real miner, and we, after a few tech sessions in the afternoon, decided to catch up today for an interview. And here we are. Welcome to the podcast, Saraya.
Thank you, Mad Mumzie. It's good to finally meet you and hang out with you.
Yeah, and we're going to dig in to your... Do you like that? Dig?
Yeah, I'm liking that.
You like it?
It's a good one.
Some people think I'm a bit corny, weird, but, you got to be a bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, as you know, this podcast is called the Beers with a Miner podcast. And I like to start off my interview. Sometimes I forget, and so it's at the end. But I like to ask my guests, what is your favourite beverage? It could be a beer, wine, spirit, or perhaps even a cup of tea. And what is your favourite place or time to drink it? And what is yours?
Okay, well, mine's not a beer, and I know that will scare a lot of people up in Moranbah. But actually, I like Hendrick's Gin and Tonic. It is quite expensive. It's not a cheap drink to enjoy, so make sure you do have some cash behind you before you go out for a night on Hendrick's. But make it with a bit of fresh cucumber and fresh lime, and it's really, really good.
Fresh cucumber?
Yes, cucumber. It's always a bit awkward when you have to when you're inviting your girlfriends over for a drinks night and you ask them to pick up a cucumber on the way to your house. That's always awkward. Yeah. But anyway.
Oh, what sort of night are we having here?
Yeah.
That's fun. So you don't ask for cucumber when you have it out night clubbing.
Yes, I do, actually.
Do they have it?
Yeah, most of the time, if it's a decent bar, they will have cucumber and they will serve it with it.
Right. So what size glass do you have it in?
Short glass, definitely.
Ice?
Ice, lime, cucumber, tonic water.
And Hendrix, is it?
Hendrix, yes.
Wow. So what sort of price would it be for one glass of that?
Well, it's about the $11.50 mark.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you slam it down or sip
No,
it?
I sip it. every mouthful's a few dollars.
Oh, wow. Well, you're only young. Well, you're 21.
21.
How the hell do you end up drinking that stuff?
Well, my dad got me into it because we went on a sailing trip in 2013. We sailed to New Caledonia.
Oh.
And I was previously, literally the week before, I was backpacking in America on my own. And so he stocked the whole boat up. But he didn't put vodka on. He didn't put any, young people's drinks on. He just put gin and beer. So we get to New Caledonia and I turned 18 over there. And the only two options on the boat was gin and tonic or Forex Gold. So I had to go with the gin and tonic on my 18th birthday.
Oh, wow. Well, did you try a Forex Gold?
Oh, I have tried Forex Gold, but I don't see that. I don't know how people like that. I don't know how he drinks as many cans as he does.
And it's cans as well. Now, my listeners know that is Mad Mumzie's favourite.
Is
a
it?
gold can.
Oh, sorry. Did I just offend you then?
Not at all. I know, and especially by doing this podcast, I realised the real variety of drinks that people have.
Yes.
Yes, I can almost hear it tinkling now.
We probably have some in the cupboard if you'd like some.
It might be a bit early for that. Oh, dear. So, and when is your most favourite time to drink that?
Definitely on my breaks. I do not drink during a tour because that would probably kill me at work.
Yeah, you'd be over the limit the next day.
Yeah, that
sure.
and, I don't know anyone that can work 12 and a half hours underground with a hangover.
Oof.
It's hard enough just being down there rather than being hungover. So usually when I'm on my breaks back in Brisbane, catching up with my girlfriends, go for some drinks by the beach. Usually
Beautiful.
then.
Bring the cucumber.
Bring the cucumber.
Oh, that's awesome. So, okay, well, let's start on your mining journey. You mentioned underground. Mm-hmm. So, how did you get a start underground and what do you do?
Okay, so I'm a third-year electrical apprentice at Broadmeadows, underground coal mine located in just outside of Moranbah. I started there in January 2015. But I guess I could go through the recruitment process first.
That'd be good because it helps people to see, especially if you're thinking of being an apprentice, of how I haven't had an apprentice on. Most of my people have been really old. No.
I just drink old people's drinks. I'm not that old. So I applied for a job through BMA. They had their... and I got a job alert through Seek saying the BMA apprentice applications were open. I was like, oh yeah, probably don't really have much of a chance, but why not give it a go? There's no harm in giving things a go.
I'll just interrupt for a sec. How old were you then when you applied?
I was 19 when I applied, I would have been. Or, yes. Oh, no, 18, sorry. I was 18 when I applied, and that was in May 2014. So I went online and you had to do an online aptitude test and application first, and then after the aptitude test they then rang me up and I did a phone interview a couple of weeks later, and then after the phone interview they flew me to Moranbah and I went to the AIM Centre in town there, and we did pretty much a whole interview day, teamwork exercises. So they just pretty much BMA recruitment team wanted to just see how you acted in a group, your communication skills, and we did it. And then I did a formal interview with them. After that day, it was a couple of months later, and my nerves were kicking in then, and I thought, oh no, don't have this job. It's been
because you hadn't heard for so long.
Heard from them, and so they rang me up and said, oh, you've got a medical. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the last step. This is awesome. So I did the medical, passed the medical, and I thought, that's it.
Was the medical what you expected it to be?
Yeah, I was expecting it to be challenging. Like, I was actually expecting it to be quite challenging, but it wasn't too bad when I got there.
Yeah. Did you have to have a chest X-ray?
Yes,
Because
I
you're
did.
going underground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
My mum's a radiographer, so she wasn't very happy.
Really?
She wasn't very happy with the whole chest X-ray because of the amount of radiation, but it had to be done.
But isn't that what a radiographer does?
Yeah.
So she doesn't mind doing it to other people,
No,
but don't X-ray my daughter.
Don't X-ray her daughter. Don't put that much radiation in. I think because she understands the whole process and how much radiation is actually going into your body with just one chest X-ray. You know.
Right. Yeah, lucky you only have to have it every 5
Yes,
years.
yeah. So I had, after the medical, I was like, sweet, that's it. Like, I passed that. That's the final stage. I got the job. Anyway, so I rang up my friend in England, and she was going to South Africa on a trip. So I was like, I'll come with you. I need a holiday before I go and, live in the bush for 4 years. So I booked a trip to South Africa, and 5 days before I was due to fly out, they ring me up and they said, like BMA rang me up and said, we just need you to do one more aptitude test. You have to get over 90%. And I was like, what do I do? Oh my goodness. And that, so I was like, well, I'm flying to South Africa next week. And they're like, we need you to do it before you go. I was like, cool. So I got like 5 days to remember everything from school and pass this test. Anyway, went the 2 days before I was due to fly out, went down, did the aptitude test, got passed, got over 90% in the maths and English part, and that was it. I was finally complete my recruitment process.
So, can you explain what the aptitude test involved?
I would say it was about grade 10 from my memory, grade 10 level of maths B really, and English, like literature, writing, bit of maths, bit of algebra, that's about it.
Righto. Yep. Cool. So, how long after you passed that, or then what happened?
So, that was October, and then obviously flew out to South Africa.
Oh, so you did go?
I did go 2 days later, and it was, trust me, it was a very relaxed holiday after I knew that I'd passed that test.
Yeah.
Because they let me know on the day if I got over 90%.
Oh, that's good.
So, I passed that and went to South Africa, had an amazing trip there with my friend.
How long for?
2 weeks, just 2 weeks.
Yep.
And I was only working at a bar and I was teaching little kids how to sail, so I wasn't bringing in that much money, so I could afford 2 weeks. And I came back at the end of October, and then I moved up to Moranbah at the middle of January.
Right.
So I moved up there to start my apprenticeship. We start on the 27th of January, day after Australia Day.
Oh, were you hungover?
No, I wasn't actually, because I just spent 12 hours driving up there.
Yeah. So, when did you get your start date? Was it when you were in South Africa?
Yes, I got sent the contract, when I was over there, and I just...
So you knew...
Yeah, I knew it would have to be...
What was happening then?
Yeah, January. Sometimes I packed up my life, got, myself a microwave and a kettle and all those kind of adult things that you don't think about when you're 18, and packed up my little Nissan X-Trail and drove up there, moved up there.
Yeah. So did they have accommodation for you?
No. So being
Really?
No. Apprentices aren't under the accommodation agreement with BMA.
What, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, but just...
Jaw drop.
Jaw drop, that's it. Drop the mic, what?
No, that was okay though in my head, because like a BMA apprenticeship and having to pay rent in Moranbah,
Yeah, I can probably wing it.
I could work it out some way or another.
So there was accommodation in Moranbah at that time?
Yes,
Yeah.
So it was 2015, so they were in the downturn, so there was a lot of empty houses there that were quite reasonable to rent. So, I just rented a place on my own, and I'm still living there. And it's really quite nice. It's like your own little secluded, place to go off to once you finish work. You
need that.
Yeah, it's nice break, nice downtime.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. And what roster do you do?
I'm on the lifestyle roster, which is, the 5-4 roster. I like it. It's a happy balance. You're not out there for too long, and you get, decent.
Do you have
break.
a pyjama day?
Yes, I do. I do the pyjama day too.
So for those that don't know, a pyjama day is, instead of doing 5-day shifts or 5 night shifts straight, you do 2 or 3, and then you have a sleeping day, or a drinking day, and then sleep, depending on how you roll. And then you go to the night shift after that and do 2 or 3 nights. So you never do more than 3 shifts in a row on that roster, do you? Before you either have a pyjama day or you're on break.
No, we do. Well, we have 5-day shifts that are all in a row.
Because you've got the broad. Yes.
We have
that is slightly different.
Yeah. No, we don't have it every tour. We only have it once a cycle. Pyjama day. So we do 5-day shifts straight, 4 night shifts straight, and then the pyjama day tour is 2-day shifts, pyjama day, 3 night shifts. Right,
that's right. That's the Broadmeadow. You've got a special roster.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't worked at another mine site, so
you've just stayed at that one?
Yeah, I've never been I've never been to a mine site before I moved to Moranbah, and Broadmeadows is the first site and only site I've been to. I have left and gone and done work experience in Moranbah. I work for ISS facility, and they basically work on all the BMA houses in Moranbah, and I did got a lot of domestic experience with them. So that was really interesting too. Spiced it up. Got to go home for lunch every day. Did 8-hour days. It was quite relaxing.
See the sky all day.
Got some vitamin D from the sun.
So I'm listening to your story, and there you are, sailing around the world with Mum and Dad, and when you weren't doing that, you were backpacking and travelling yourself. What made you think I might want to work in a mine underground? Where did that come from? Is it in the family? Where did it come from? Okay,
well, my story's a bit interesting, and when I was 15, I did a bunch of environmental trips, as I spoke to you about earlier, and they took me, these expeditions took me to amazing places like Switzerland, Russia, Borneo, and all of them were sponsored trips by a guy called Mike Horn, and they were all paid for, all expenses paid for. The only thing at the end he wanted you to get out of it is to go home and set up your own project and act upon it. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience to do at 15. I got to get out of school for a couple of weeks, got to, didn't have mum and dad, got to go to Russia by myself and meet up with these other young, inspiring people that were, had the same goal as I did. So very passionate about the environment in high school, did a lot of environmental projects, helped set up a turtle rehabilitation centre on Fitzroy Island in Cairns. And I used to go up there every school holidays and just work at my turtle rehab centre and have a good time. And so I ultimately thought, I'm going to be an environmental scientist. I'm going to go and do a degree in that. That's what I thought I was going to do. Anyway, I took my 2 gap years and went backpacking a lot and did a lot of travelling. And I thought I might need something a bit more stable, because no offence to people in the environmental industries, but it's not the most stable job at the moment, just because a lot of it's volunteer work. A lot of stuff that I was doing in school was all voluntary work.
And as you get older, you realise in the real world you actually need money, usually.
And you like to have the same experiences I had, like sailing with my parents. They both had really good jobs, so they did that stuff in their time when they weren't at work. So I took another step back, and I went on a trip, obviously, with my dad in 2013. As I said, we went to New Caledonia for 3 months, and I said to Dad, I was like, I don't think I should go to uni next year. I don't think it's right for me. And he said he did a trade himself. He's a boilermaker by trade. He said, why don't you do a trade? And I was like, we're sitting, of course, having a gin and tonic, and I was like...
Were you on the boat?
Yeah, on the boat, having a gin and tonic in New Caledonia, so couldn't pick a better location to have this...
to have a deeper, meaningful...
Perfect! And he said, why don't you do a trade? And we went through all the trades, and there's, carpentry, mechanical fitter, diesel fitter, boiler making, and then electrician. And he said if he had the opportunity, he would have always, chosen electrical path. He said it's the longest lasting job I can see being around, Everyone needs it. Everyone's going to need it in the future. So why not do that? Anyway, so we finished a bowl of gin together. And then I was like, yeah, that's such a good idea. And
I'm going to be an electrician.
Yeah. So we got super stoked on that idea. We're in this very, very small island where we were. So it was about a 3K walk to the little shop that had Wi-Fi to Skype Mum. So I walk up to the shop the next day, sweating. I'm not sure if that was due to the heat or due to the alcohol, but anyway.
Hangover.
Sweating, walking up this dirt path with my iPad. Internet wasn't very good, but I managed to Skype Mum back home. She was in Brisbane working, unfortunately. And I Skyped her and I was like, oh, Dad and I just came up with this great idea. I'm going to do my electrical trade. I'm going to do my apprenticeship. And Mum's like, okay, how much had you guys had to drink? And I said, well, just a little bit, but this is
the one bottle, Mum.
This is what I want to do. And she's like, okay. And she's enrolled me because obviously I was away on the boat. We have no internet, no TV, no phone reception, none of that on the boat. So she enrolled me in a FIFO electrical course at TAFE, just at Bracken Ridge here.
Yep.
And I started that when I got back in January 2014. And so I did the FIFO course, and it was really good because I got to do work experience with a domestic company in Brisbane and a commercial company. And it gave me a really good feel to it, good introduction. And that year that I was doing that, that's at the start of the year when I started applying for BMA apprenticeship, and I applied at a bunch of other mine sites and energy companies. And yeah, I made it all the way through with them.
Oh, wow. What a journey.
Yeah.
So how do you feel environmentally wise? Do you feel like you're rape and pillaging the earth, or how? It's a question I'm going to start asking people, because I like to say I'm just a bloody old hippie from way back, but I'm also a coal miner.
Yes.
And there's a lot of...
It's a very hot topic at the moment, and a lot of people that haven't seen me for a few years, they think that I'm turning my back on the environment, which I guess in a way I have, but at the same time I still will do that in the future. I know that can't be my career. I know that I have to have a stable career behind me in order to be successful in that other area as well, because as I said before, all of that work that I did was voluntary work. It all had to come at my own expense when I was working, or my parents' expense when I was younger. So I know that if I have a good strong career behind me and a good roster, that stuff I will always be able to do in my spare time and always be able to help. And the good thing about that is it won't feel like a job. I'll actually be genuinely passionate about doing it in my spare time, because you're using your time off work to do that, so it means you really it's really genuine.
Yeah. And you can still be environmentally aware and doing things as environmentally as you can.
Yeah.
And you are, it probably is good for the greenies out there. Not that any of them are probably listening to my podcast.
You never know.
Yeah. But, you're out there and you're seeing what really is happening. Mm-hmm. And who knows, you might come up with some fantastic way of doing something that can only help. So it's good having some people there with those sort of eyes, I think, especially being young. Mm-hmm. And the young ones are what are changing the world.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's not always I don't know, you don't ever have to be put into one category in life.
Exactly.
What, you try the whole plate. Don't just keep going back, to the same dish. You have to try everything, you know what I mean?
I'd like to say that to you about your drink. I just drink that. That's it.
You think I should try some other stuff?
Yeah. No, you're young enough. Yeah. Don't say Mad Mumzie influenced me to get onto the rum or something. I can't stand rum. But
no, not for me either.
All right. So, what are you planning on? I think we kind of maybe just covered that. Are you planning on staying in mining forever and just doing your other passionate stuff on break, or what's your plan? Because the reason I ask this is because so many people, especially that I've come across, think, I'll get a job in the mines, maybe not as a trade, say, get a job in the mines, I'll do it for 3 to 5 years, pay off the mortgage, and that's it, I'm out. And they either, rarely have I come across anyone that's done that, they tend to get another mortgage or a more expensive mortgage, and then they have the golden handcuffs, they have to stay in the mining industry because they couldn't afford to work for the council.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Or they love it. They find out that they love it, and so they just, that's what they wanted to keep doing.
Yeah. I never like, say, huge long-term plans like that, because anything can happen in 3 years. Anything can happen in 3 months, let alone 3 years. So I don't ever say I'm definitely going to do this in 5 years' time. 10 years' time I want to have this or become a mum or something. I never talk that long term, because anything can happen. You'll change in that time. Your opinions will change. Relationships might change. Where you want to live might change. All that stuff could change.
The world changes. Like there's some things that weren't even around 3 years ago.
No, exactly, and you never knew existed. And in 3 to 5 years' time, you might get offered a really awesome job, somewhere else, and want to take that. So I don't really, I don't really talk about anything too long term, but definitely, obviously, I'll stay at Broadmeadows until I finish my apprenticeship.
Yep. So how long is that for?
2 more years.
2 more. So it's a 5-year apprenticeship?
4 years. I just turned 3rd year, like a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
So I pretty much, have 2 years to go at Broadmeadows. After that, the decision sort of is out of my hands, because BMA generally they have been known to lay their apprentices off once they finish their apprenticeship.
That's nice of them. It's always been a bit of a sore point. There's a lot of companies that do that, and I think they want them to go and get some experience somewhere else, and feel free to apply back. If we have jobs.
Exactly. And that probably is their whole goal. Like, they just want you to go out and maybe try and work for a domestic company, or, go and work for an energy company, or go and work at a power station. So they just want you to get more experience, because you've had, your whole 4-year apprenticeship just in the one spot, just working on the, same type of equipment the whole 4 years. So it's with good intention, but sometimes the pay is a bit different in the real world compared to the mining world, just slightly, not much.
Slightly,
but
that's right.
There is a difference in pay. There also is a difference in roster, which I notice all the time when I come back for TAFE. And, we're all doing Monday to Friday with only Saturday and Sunday off. I'm like,
2 days. What can you do in 2 days?
Yeah. And one time I was at TAFE over Easter, and all the boys at TAFE got super excited that, oh my gosh, we've got a 4-day weekend, we got Friday and Monday off. And I was like, you can't even go anywhere in 4 days. I can't even get anything done. I was like, I need minimum 5.
Yeah, 4 days. That's my short break.
Yeah, exactly. The short break, as everyone, comes back to work after the short break, said, oh, that wasn't much good.
On the other hand, too, they don't have to travel 12 hours to get back there. No. So there's a couple of days. And they're home every night. They could go for a surf if they finish in... Can you surf here?
Not in Redcliffe. We're in a bay, but go an hour up north to Sunny Coast. Plenty of surfing there, but yeah, I know what you're saying there. They're home every night, so it's not as
it's something
special
to weigh up
to them. Yeah, well, they probably don't appreciate it as much as I do. Like when I'm at home for my TAFE blocks, it's kind of very valuable time. I get to be at home for dinner every night, and I can see my friends any day of the week. We don't have to plan 2 weeks in advance when we're going to catch up.
Let's synchronise rosters.
Yeah, I have to send them a copy of my roster, and I'm just like, text me in the white patches, don't even worry about it if there's yellow. If you see any yellow parts, don't even bother texting me, because I'm
out of your world.
Yeah, and don't, even if you do try and text me, I won't get it because I'm underground, so it's just pointless.
Yeah, that's it. How was it going actually underground for the first time?
Okay, so this is where the real miner comes into it. Hey, real miner. So the real miner and my tradesman Dale, they were our first 2 tradesmen we had at Broadmeadow underground. So when we started, the other apprentice and I started, Talise, her name is, she's a fitter at Broadmeadows, and we began at the same time. And so her and I first started our first ever day underground. It was our
And how old were you?
I was 19 and she was only 17, I think. So she'd just finished school, come straight out of school, straight into apprenticeship. So, good on her for getting organised.
Yeah.
I messed around for 2 years, but oh well.
You needed to have that bottle with your dad to
exactly.
to make the plan.
I had to learn a lot about myself.
That's right.
And, so our first ever day underground, it was our first ever 12.5-hour shift.
So straight into it.
Straight onto... we'd been at Broadmeadows 5 months, but we hadn't had our underground induction, and we'd just been like sort of on probation, just on the surface working.
And you weren't doing 12-hour shifts?
No, we're doing just 8 hours Monday to Friday, so we got eased into it.
Kind of like a real job, that is.
Yeah, it was a normal job.
But you don't get to go home every night.
No. So I was super excited about starting on shift, just because of the days off and things like that. So yeah, we went underground. I remember it was the start of our pajama day tour. It was a Wednesday, and I just remember we went down in the PJB. I even know what PJB it was. I remember weird things like that.
And what is it?
PJB 2007.
And what is a PJB?
It's an underground vehicle. It's a bit smaller than a drift runner. So the drift runners,
which is a drifty.
Drifty.
Good
job. Nice work.
So smaller than a drifty.
Yeah, it only has 4 seats, and it's got sort of a ute tray, so it's more for putting, items on and stuff like that. So that's why the trades usually get the PJB and not the drifty, so they can put tools and parts down and whatever. And the real miner can take his 20,000 drums of oil down in it. And I just remember it was because it was a day shift. It was just bright sunshine as it is out west there, just like your eyes pretty much stinging from the sunlight, and then you just drive in and it's just all of a sudden just pitch black, like you put your hand in front of your face and you can't even see it. And I was just like, whoa, where are we? Like in another world. It's like we just completely change of environment. And I didn't get claustrophobic, and I don't think I have claustrophobia because I lived on a boat with my parents on and off for like years at a time.
So in a small space.
Very... the environmental conditions out there are very different, but still, heaps of environmental factors to consider when you're on a boat as well as underground. And it was. I really enjoyed it. Like I really liked being down there, and I didn't know what it was, and it was just a cool feeling because I knew that I was getting something out of it, really, like an important trade at the end of the day. And I knew that not many young girls would have this opportunity to go down here and work in these conditions. And, I knew I was getting something out of it, I think.
Oh, wow. So I interviewed 2 underground miners, real miners. Last week in episode 32. If you want to listen to that, head to madmumzie.com/beers32, the number 32. I haven't edited that as we speak, but that was hilarious. And I learnt a lot about that. But I expected there'd be lighting plants under there to light it up. But they said, where they were anyway, you could really only see where your torch on your hard hat. Or your cap. Yeah. So you turn that on and you can see.
Yeah.
And is that how it is for
pretty
you?
much. It's just you have one cup lamp and it's sort of just like a tunnel vision light, so it's only where you point your light. You try not to point it in people's eyes because it will blind them because they are very bright.
So the etiquette.
Yeah.
That's what they said. When you're talking to an underground miner, if they're kind of just looking off to the side of it,
still listening
because of their hat, the light that might not be on their head.
Yeah, exactly. They're still listening to you, don't worry, even if they're just not looking at you. That's part of it as well, I guess. There's a lot of factors down there to consider, and that's just one of them. I mean, there's
what else you can tell us? What other parts you feel like?
Heaps.
Especially the ones that you weren't expecting, I guess. Yeah,
I guess I wasn't... one of the biggest things I wasn't expecting is the ground is really uneven. Like, obviously, sometimes they've got bricks down there to fill holes up. Sometimes there's holes down there that they don't even know about. Sometimes it could be, like, huge slabs of coal that have fallen out under the, like, mesh of from the ribs. or sometimes there could be heaps of water in there, and you're walking, scrooging through all the water. So those are the ground. The roof conditions, you're always like checking the roof. The deputies have been really good at Broadmeadows with showing us about the strata conditions and teaching us what to look out for and what to listen to if you hear changes in it.
And you can you hear the walls and the roof creaking and talking to you?
Yeah, you can definitely. In the longwall where I am at the moment, it's a lot of cracking and thunder-like noises, and so first few days down in the longwall that really scared me. Yeah. But it's okay. I found out that's just normal, so you don't panic about that after a while.
I suppose panicking could be one of the worst things.
Yeah, true. And I definitely don't recommend it if you're scared of the dark or claustrophobic or anything like that, because it's probably not, you won't feel very comfortable down there.
And it's probably not something you can just get. I suppose if you keep doing it, you'd get used to it.
Yeah.
But I've got a fear of heights, and it doesn't matter what I do. I don't think if I jumped out of a plane every day I'd get over it.
No, exactly. And it's I guess it's also like thinking about the other people down there as well. If you're stressed out and panicked, or your tradesmen or your fellow operators that are going to be have that in the back of their head and going to be thinking about how you're doing the whole time. Whereas if you go down there comfortable, you can just focus on the job you have to do. And you don't have that in the back of your head. And no one, well, I haven't seen anyone really scared down there, and no one shows it. And it is, when I talk to people back here about it, it is a huge deal, and it is I guess sometimes life-threatening to go down there every day. In a way, it's not it's not as safe as some other jobs, I guess. But you don't actually ever think about it. You only think about what I got to do down there today, what jobs I have to do, what I have to complete. You know what I mean? You don't think about that the whole time, which is good.
It just becomes your normal.
Yeah, it becomes our normal going into the office every day. Yeah. It's just like that.
Yeah, sure. Just like that.
So no aircon.
Yes, no aircon. Now, these sort of things came up last week as well, but no aircon, no kettle.
No kettle, no.
No kettle, no pie warmer.
No pie warmer. No.
And what about going to the toilet down there?
Okay.
As a woman, this did come up last week and it was a bit weird, but these are the sort of things that maybe the questions no one else answers, but Mad Mumzie will.
Okay, you can ask me.
Because there's not actual toilets, is there?
No, not at Broadmeadows. Not yet anyway. I think.
And I believe a lot of mines are like that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, there's none at Broadmeadows.
There is at the surface.
There is on the surface, but
because you can't imagine the office girls and boys not going to the toilet.
Yeah. When you're down, like say at the end of or the bottom of the panel, you're not going to spend half an hour each way driving in the drift runner to go up just to pee. So no, we do everything down there just like the blokes do. Yeah. And we just have to. There's no choice. When you got to go, you got to go.
And that's something else to consider.
Yeah.
If you're thinking, oh, this sounds cool, I'll do that.
Yeah.
If you don't like the dark, you don't like, if you're claustrophobic and you can't pee, unless you're on a toilet, don't do it.
I don't know if this is inappropriate or not, but a lot of the new apprentices have these shiwis. Have you heard of them?
No. I'll say no. Something's telling me maybe I have. Or maybe I'm imagining what it could be.
I don't know. Some girls use them as an alternative.
So what is it?
So it's like
like a bucket.
It's like a little cup thing, I think you put in that area, and you can unzip. Like you can just be like a boy with it, I'm pretty sure, and you unzip and then you can pee. But I haven't tried I haven't tried them out.
Yeah.
Don't know if I want
I'll Google shiwis.
Yeah, you maybe.
Is that what they're called, or that's just what they call them?
No, that's what they're called.
All right. I'll Google them and I'll leave a link in the show notes. And the show notes for this episode will be at madmumzie.com/beers 33. 33. Yes. Yeah. Wow, shiwis.
That might be a good
I might need one of those because it's a long way back to the crib hop, right? But the thing with us is it can get dangerous. There was someone in WA who actually, her truck rolled away while she was under it having a pee and died.
Oh, my goodness.
I know on some sites they just ban it. You are just not allowed to just pull up.
No.
Turn your truck on an angle where no one's watching till you look up and go, oh my god, all the other trucks are driving past up there. Or someone comes over on night shift in their car, you're right over here. Oh yes, I'm fine, thanks. Off you go. Or just drive back to the crew park. But like you say, it can be a fair way.
It's sometimes you don't want to do the drive. Sometimes you just do it.
Yeah.
I actually had, when the new apprentices started at Broadmeadows, they asked me that same question. They said, so seriously, where do you go to the toilet? And
that's right, see, it is
I just
concern.
Say, where everyone else goes. That was my answer. I was like, if you see the blokes going somewhere, you can go there too. Like, simple as that. Go into another cut through or hide behind, some Braddis and just... That's what you got to do.
So, you've been there doing it for a couple of years now. Mm-hmm. So you're like one of the experienced old hands when the new apprentices turn up.
Yeah, Talisa and I would.
Do you help them out? Do you have to mentor them at all, or?
Yeah, there's a bit of that. Talisa and I like to think we're the old hands at Broadmeadows. I don't know if we are, but we've given ourselves self-titled.
Are there any other apprentices there that, say, are in their fourth year?
No. So
you're
Talisa and I, started there at Broadmeadows, and we've been the first two that had in a while. So we're the oldest ones there at the moment.
Is that on your crew, or is that?
That's throughout the whole site.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
you just happen to both be on the same crew.
Yeah. We got put there together when we first started.
That's
probably
a good
for a bit
thing.
of support as well, because we're the only two girl apprentices there, and it was really nice. Then when these new apprentices started, I tried, I guess that was part of my award yesterday as well. I tried to help them out as much as I could with getting them started and, getting their underground belts ready with their tools and things like that. And pretty much, I hope they feel like, and if they're listening, I hope they feel like they can come and chat to me about anything, any concerns or problems they have, or if they want any advice on any topics, or if they're having troubles with someone, I hope that they feel like they can come up and see me about it, because I'm always willing to talk to them. I don't always see them due to the different crews and changes, but I really hope they do feel like they're comfortable enough to come and see me.
Oh, that's lovely. So, who did that for you, if there were no women down there?
Well, I'm really thankful that Talisa and I had each other, because at the start it was us, and our apprentice master at the time, he got to Broadmeadows. It was his first day, the same day as our first day. So we were all... Oh,
and he was looking after you.
Yeah, so it was all fresh. He'd come over from Crineham, so it was his first day at Broadmeadows, same day as ours, so it was a bit new to us all, and I'm really thankful that I had Talisa there, because her and I helped each other out. We figured things out, we did our training stuff, and we just had each other as sort of moral support, because there was, the only other chicks on site were in the admin, in the offices and stuff, so they weren't out in the field with us. So that was really good. And I will heads up to our tradies, not heads up, what do you get to say?
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to the tradies.
They think they're good enough as it is.
Okay, we won't. No more praise. No more praise.
No, you just say as it is, whatever.
Well, they helped us a lot, especially with getting to the next level of qualification, getting off our pink hats. So pink hats is inexperienced miner, Everyone watches out for pink hats because they're very new down there.
Oh, so it's not just a girl thing.
No, it wasn't just a girl thing.
In the open cut, we could get pink hard hat.
Oh, could you?
Yeah, special McGrath Foundation
nice.
Fundraising one.
Yeah. That's good.
That's right. I want a pink hat. I haven't got one now. I've got a new one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Get that one back.
If anyone's listening, Mad Mumzie wants a pink hard hat.
I can give you my old one. It's got some drawings on it. You can have it.
Oh, sweetie. So pink is for
inexperienced,
really,
brand new miners, underground miners. You have to spend 48 shifts minimum on your pink hat.
Right. It's really good that they do that.
Yeah, and you have to write a logbook, and that's where the Real Miner and Dale comes into it, because they helped us write our logbooks every day, and we...
and they have to sign off.
They have to sign off on the work and pretty much stay that we've been down there for 12 and a half hours, which we had been, and because they'd been with us. And also with the other new factor that comes into it as well with being underground is the Real Miner and my tradesmen, they couldn't leave our site.
Oh, really?
They don't worry. When we went to pee, they left us alone. They didn't have to come there, but pretty much we couldn't leave their site the whole time we were on our pink hat. So they had little ghosts following them around, like little shadows following them around everywhere they went. Light? Yeah, pretty much. Even if they wanted to be by themselves, we had to go with them. So that was fun for them.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's that makes it even more. Yeah, so, we got a lot of experience because we were down with them at every job that they had to go to, so that was awesome. That part of it was cool. Now it's good because we're on our yellow hats, and and is that the next
that's
stage?
The next stage, so you go from your pink hat to your yellow hat, and your yellow hat's really cool. Like, I think it's awesome because you get that independence. So if your tradesman says to you, like, can you go up to the, maintenance pod and grab that for me, you can go up there, get it, bring it back to him. Or if he, if you need to like drive someone out in the drift runner or go and pick up people, like you can do that. You got a lot more independence, and
and you're a bit more useful to everyone.
Yeah.
Or of use, useful. Yeah, that sounded a bit harsh.
No, useful. We are more useful now
because otherwise you both have to go up to get the part.
And it's kind of taking double the time, whereas you can be doing one thing and they can be doing another thing, and you're still achieving jobs. So it's I really like being on my yellow hat. The next stage now is white hat. I'm not sure when we'll go on to that, but that's our next goal, to get onto that.
And is that the last one?
That's the last one. That's what everyone's
old school.
Yeah.
So when you change mine's sites, like the Real Miner's not at your site anymore. So when he goes to a new site, does he have to wear a pink hat or do you know? Does he have to wear a pink hat for those 48 shifts, or is it? Oh, shut up.
I'm not sure. You can keep talking. I was giving you that look because I was trying to figure it out. I think Broadmeadows, each site, I believe, this is because I don't know, I haven't been to another site, but I believe each site has their own different, process. Yeah. So Broadmeadows goes pink, yellow, white, but where he is now might be different process. Yeah.
And it might be if you are already an experienced underground miner who's been doing it for 15 years or something.
Yeah, you don't
have to go pink.
No, you probably, if it was the same where he's at now, he'd probably get to bypass pink and yellow and go straight to white, I would say.
Or they might have orange if it means you've just started at this mine.
That's
but you just have to wear that for a week, and so everyone knows he doesn't know where he's going. Yeah. Or she.
We'll have to call him in and ask him these questions.
Oh, I will. I will put the answer in the show notes.
Okay,
I'll ask the Real Miner and see what we can find out.
And I hope that whoever he has as an apprentice now is making him just as good at coffees as what I did.
Oh, so
wink, wink.
You had to do that as well?
Yeah.
Or you chose it? There's no kettle.
No, we have thermos, like little, hot water thermos, and that was Tilly's and my job to make our tradesmen coffee.
Yep, that sounds extremely sexist.
Ask the Real Miner about that. No,
no, but you can understand that's
but that was part of the laugh of it, and that's why we all thought it was funny when her and I asked Darren their coffees and. Walking around with giving it to them, but
they probably would have done that if it was a bloke apprentice.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's the apprentice title, not the female title at all.
Yeah, it's the left-handed screwdriver and all that. Like across all industries. Yeah, it's not just the Real Miner making you make him a coffee.
No, and I did make the mistake. Like, this was my fault completely. I made the mistake, and I told them that I used to work in a cafe and run a cafe, and I was a qualified barista, so that wasn't the smartest move on my on my behalf.
That's it. We have a rule that he made up, I might say, that when we're at my house, I make the coffee. when we're at his house, he makes the coffee.
Okay.
Trouble is, we're hardly ever at his house. He says, well, if you come to my house more often, I'll make you coffee. Yeah. Oh, dear. I was at his place a while ago, and one of his mates rocked up, and he was making coffee, or I don't know. I think he thought I was going to go make the coffee, and I said, yeah, I'll have it. Yeah, make me one more there. And his mate
sugar.
looked at him. I'm like, no, we got rules, mate. You don't know these rules.
No.
Oh dear, that's funny.
The relationship contract agreement thing.
Yeah, well, you gotta figure those out. Welcome Julia Hartman and the Bantax Accounting Group to Team Mad Mumzie. Julia is my awesome accountant. She has written 2 books with financial expert Noel Whittaker and has a passion to help us miners make the most out of our hard-earned cash. Head to bantax.com.au/miners. That's BANTACS to download your free miner's booklet and a spreadsheet that will help you calculate the weight of your tools you need for your job. Why, you ask? Well, you might be able to hitchhike a ride with them and claim your trips to work. Sounds confusing? Not at all. Just head over to bantax.com.au and let Julia and the team help you out. You will also find loads of free information and advice on property investing if you plan to really do some great things with your money. Again, that's bantax.com.au/miners and tell them Mad Mumzie sent you. That all sounds fun and dandy, and you liked the darkness and you could handle the claustrophobic side of it, and you made good coffee and you had great tradies to look after you, which is awesome. And it's really, as the real miner's partner, and he tells me how great he is all the time, of course.
Of course.
But it's really nice to hear that. And yeah, he's a good person.
No,
but what did you struggle with the most? Let's hear some of the other side of the stories, and perhaps that you needed to sit down and have. Well, I don't know. What did you struggle with the most?
That's a difficult one, because I try. I'm not sure if I'm the best at it, but I try and maintain a positive attitude all the time at work, because you don't really want to turn up to work and be in a grump and be unhappy and be a bit sour. Even you might be feeling that inside, but you don't want to do that, because you're all down there together. You're stuck down there together for the whole shift. There's no way you can escape to, so you may as well make the most out of it. You may as well make people laugh. You may as well make them smile, because they don't want to be hanging around someone that's grumpy or, shitty with them, or, something like that. So I try and, see the positive sides of it. Probably the shift work, I guess, was the thing I had to adjust to the most, because I'd never done 12.5-hour night shifts before. Yeah. And not that it was a bad thing, it was just pretty much adapting to it, changing sort of your sleep patterns, your sleep habits. When we came off shift, like, you had to readjust to normal life and come back to Brisbane, and everyone was just doing the same thing, had plenty of sleep, 8 hours sleep before they come and pick you up from the airport, and here you are, like, cold and your eyes open, like, you're like, how you being so normal? Like, I feel like a zombie right now. So I think adjusting to that was probably the hardest thing, but I've overcome that, and now I can sleep like 8 hours straight through. As much to some people's disappointment at work, I can sleep 8 hours straight through during the day. I can sleep at night for day shift, so I've adjusted to it really well. Yeah. Or maybe I'm just exhausted from working so hard.
Oh, because you're a bloody real miner, aren't you?
We're real miners, so we just work that hard, and maybe I can just sleep. No, I don't know. But
well, that's the point. Like, if you've had a hard day, you just lay down and go to bed. Yeah,
you are.
No matter what you're doing.
Exhausted. Yeah. And also, I think the heat down there, because it's really hot, obviously, it takes it out of you as well.
See, you say obviously. So it's really hot underground?
Yeah, very hot.
And steamy hot?
Humidity, yeah. It's more the humidity that kills you, not so much the temperature. It's just because there's so much moisture down there that's really, I think, why you sweat so much. I could tell you another personal story about
we love stories on Beers with the Miner podcast.
and heat with being a female, you get a lot of like just everything rubs through raw, like pretty much, because your belt's rubbing on you, sweat's dripping down your back, coal's dripping down your back, and so you get a lot of like heat rashes. And one time I was wearing what I thought was a comfortable Bonds bra. No offense, Bonds, but I thought it was a comfortable one, and I've been wearing it for ages, and it actually like rubbed through the material to the wire. And then the wire started rubbing on my skin. I actually got like a pretty big, well, not big, but a scar from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's one thing, women, to make note of when you get some bras with like no wire, just like those sports crop top bras.
Yeah,
wear them.
That's what I wear because they're the most comfy.
I still wear the Bonds ones, but I just chose without the wire, just the crop top sports ones because they're the best.
Wow, the boys, I'm sure they brought that up last week about the rubbing. And sometimes they used to just wear shorts, like board shorts they were allowed to back in the day.
Oh, okay.
They just wear board shorts because they were in the wet, they were sweating, they said the board shorts would dry off, so you wear big long work pants, but times have changed since then.
All full,
I'm sure
full
we're
length clothing
not
now.
allowed to wear board shorts down the hole anymore.
No, it would be fantastic. But,
but thanks for sharing that, because that is something else.
Oh, it's just, well,
and it's a long 12 and a half hours.
It's a long 12 and a half hours.
Wires rubbing you off.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's just, I guess that's the topic of the week, is women, celebrating women in industries, and we got a big dose of that yesterday, so I thought I'd just share another personal female side of things, because I'm sure you get all the bloke side of things, but you don't hear many chicks.
That's right.
No,
I've got a few, but none as young as you, as yet, and not underground. See, yes, it's funny because my last interview with the boys was last week.
Yep.
Underground, my first undergrounders, and now here the universe has delivered you, and you're going to be the episode after that.
Awesome.
So that, of course, the real miner won't come on.
No. Oh, why not? We could do a double interview.
Yeah, that's right. You could tell some stories about you, I'm sure. Oh dear. So I take it from that you've never had a moment where you think, what am I doing here? Do I really want to do this? Is there something else?
No.
That's awesome.
I don't know what it is, but I'm a bit like impulsive. Once I decide something in my head, I just like go out and do it, whatever it takes. Once I decide, okay, that's the right thing to do, I'm sure of that. And then, like, when I got down there and I was so totally comfortable, I thought, oh, this must be it. This must be right for me. And I've never been down there and thought, oh God, why am I here? Because I just enjoy it, and I know what I'm getting out of it. I know what ticket I'm getting at the end of the 4 years, and it's so totally worth it.
Wow. That is so nice to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you would be a breath of fresh air. And see, this is another thing that women bring is, and I've heard this, and I'm like you, I try to be the positive one. I certainly have my moments. And, and different sites, different days, different people, and I've changed in I think it's 13 years now I've been doing it, from when I started to now, I nearly quit a couple of times. I did. I took my VR, never to return to mining, and then went, oh, you don't get paid much in a dress shop.
Yeah.
So I went back. Exactly. But that's another story. But it really is good to hear that you're doing something that you love, so therefore you take that passion with you underground with your crew, and they pick that up, and so with the new people that are starting. So you can come here and love your job. Yeah. And even if you are one of those people that think I'm only here for 3 to 5 years, well, you might as well enjoy those 3 to 5 years.
Exactly right.
While you're there, have a bit of fun, plan ahead. I won't go on because that's what I go on about all the time. My listeners know that. But how many are on your crew?
Well, I'm on what department? Because there's 3 different departments.
In your immediate crew that you work with, say in the longwall. In the
longwall, at the moment there's about 12 of us, I would say. There's the longwall, there's a few more. There's like 2 fitters, 2 electricians. So I've got double tradesmen. Plus about 8 or so operators as well. Yeah.
So it's still a pretty tight knit group.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, definitely.
And that's what I picked up from the interview last week was that you all watch out for each other. Yeah. Down there, you all have to have each other's back.
Yeah, exactly. And you sort of, can't afford to be a wanderer. You sort of have to be a team player, because at the end of the day, those people are going to be there when you need them the most. So there's no point in, I don't think there's any point in puffing your chest out and being a man and having a blue with someone, because you never know, that person might be the one getting you out of there. You know?
Yeah, so you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So, yeah, if you have a problem with someone, just sort it out civilly. Like, don't go and try and be a big hero and throw tantrums and throw stuff around about it, because that's not going to help either of you.
That's right. And that's in life, not just in an underground coal mine.
No. And I suppose it's more, tough man's mentality down there especially, but most of them are pretty good.
Now, what about the mysterious eyeliner look? Do you get that?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like you got your eyeliner tattooed on.
Pretty much. You get some good, interesting looks, like when you get off the plane and it's still all around your eyes and everywhere. You get some pretty, like, people think, wow, you really can't do makeup. You shouldn't even try. You can't do that very well.
I've never had that problem, coal mining, because we're not in the coal that much. I can hear the real miner going, because you're never in the coal. But I get circles under my eyes, especially after night shift. And I've always had eye issues my whole life, but the dark circles under my eyes. And I used to go, we had a butcher, sadly they've closed now in our little town, and I used to go in there and they'd... especially the wife, she'd go, oh, hello dear, you're back. And I say, yeah. She goes, oh, you look so tired. And I'd just say, well, you probably look like this too if you'd just done 7 night shifts.
Yeah.
Anyway, can I have some steak? And it doesn't help. Like, I know what I look like. You don't have to tell me I look like crap. But, the real miner said to me, because I've never seen him with the black eyes. And we all used to eat at the same camp when I was out at the other one. And so I'd have dinner with your lot, which was so much fun. And I'd just shut up and listen. It was hilarious listening to them like they were from another planet, planet underground. And I asked him, I said, how come some of them got the real... He goes, well, the ones with that are the ones who don't wash themselves properly. That's what he said. I said, what, really? He goes, no, they're just going to scrub a bit better.
Okay.
Comment?
I believe, because now I'm in the long walk, and I used to be in development with the real miner.
Yep.
Development, there's not as much dust swirling around the air as there is in the long wall.
Yes.
So the long wall fellas get it a bit worse. No, the development people, don't get me wrong, still work just as hard. I'm not saying you don't work real miner, but there's a lot more dust in the air, so that's why the long...
Because they're the ones that are actually cutting coal.
Yeah, development's cutting coal too.
I thought they're just getting it ready for the long wall to come in.
They are, but they're still cutting. But it's just the whole... Like, the long wall's going along the whole face, 300 metres, whereas development's just cutting, the roadways out. So it's not as much.
But it's still
dust.
coal, but it's...
Yeah. And they're still putting on the belt.
Still putting on the belt. And still getting eyeliner on. Yeah.
But just, that's probably the difference in what you saw.
Yeah. But that's something else to think about as well.
Yeah.
True. If you've got sensitive eyes. I don't think I could do it. I know I couldn't. I have to have my safety glasses on out at work, which you are meant to anyway, right?
Yeah.
But even at the crib hut or whatever, because just dust, might not be coal dust, sometimes it is, but dirt dust, gravel dust, and the wind, and just in general in my life, I have to have some sort of glasses on most of the time.
Yeah, okay.
So for me to work underground, it makes my eyes water just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's something else to consider.
Yeah, and in the long wall, I noticed like some of the fellas wear like goggles because, and like it obviously seals off your whole eye, so it's not exposed to anything. Some wear safety glasses, but it is a bit. If you've got problems with your eyes, it's one you would have to probably wash them out at the end of every shift, like with proper eye wash and things like that, because you don't want that sitting in there. Yeah, because it does go in
really
your actual,
abrasive too, isn't it?
Yeah, as we can tell by our skin
Yeah.
when we finish a day's work. And
Yeah, right. So it's like exfoliating.
yeah, very very exfoliating. My cousin, she's a beauty therapist, and she, every time I'm home almost, she comes over and does a facial on me. And
Awesome.
yeah, it's wonderful. I'm glad she's so...
Is she going to be here any minute?
No.
No.
Do you want me to ring her up?
Yeah.
She'd do them cheap for you. She's only just qualified, so she'll do it pretty cheap.
That's
And she, like, every time I come home, she, like, does, everything. She looks at the water and it's just all brown and black, and she's like,
Wow.
What do you have on? Have you left your makeup on for like 3 days? I'm like, no, I've got no makeup. And she's like, why is this water like so murky? And I'm like, that's just all the stuff, embedded in your pores coming out of your skin. Another thing to consider, ladies.
Yeah. And when you are out at work then, what is your skincare routine? Do you cleanse and everything when you're out there?
Yeah, I do. And
it still comes out, even though you do it every night?
Yeah, I think just the products, and probably she does it for a bit longer, and probably she knows the right techniques on what to do, but she managed to extract it all out.
Just even more. That's a good idea. Yeah, to have one of those every...
So thankful she's around the corner.
Yeah.
And she's not like doesn't own her own salon and hugely successful, so she's got time to fit me in.
Yeah.
So
she's a keeper.
Yeah.
And how do you find it physically? Because I know in my job I could really handle a massage every couple of breaks at least, because we're bouncing around so much and steering and it can big rocks coming in smashing us, so it can really physically do your neck, your shoulders, your back. You have to have pretty good core strength at times.
Yeah.
Depends on your site and how many graders they operate and stuff like that. But for you?
Physically, it is very challenging. Your legs certainly get a workout every single day. You don't ever really need to go to the gym and do your legs because they're walking all day and all night long. Physically, you're quite sore. I mean, it depends what you did that day. If you're lifting lots of heavy things and that, you've got to make sure you do, use the correct lifting technique, and so you don't damage anything, obviously. So you don't want any injuries at work. But physically it's pretty draining, and I think just due to that heat factor and walking around an unstable ground, and and
you've got to carry that
tool belt and your rescuer, and all your tools on your belt. So that's another weight sitting around you on your hips.
Yeah. Do you get bruises on your hips from them?
No, mainly really just rashes just from the heat.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you can talcum powder and whatever, but you still get them just from, I think, the sweat.
Yeah.
And it rubbing on your skin. But that's fun.
It sounds more appealing the more we're talking.
Yeah.
We're really going to win the women over here. Get down underground.
I'm trying to convince them.
Yeah. So are there other roles that women could do do you think, now that because you actually are one that is working down there, other than, say, a tradie?
Well, the only two types of jobs are tradesman or operator down there.
Yeah.
The operator, I take my hat off. There's a lady just doing a traineeship down there. Yeah. And I take my hat off to her because those operators lift a lot of heavy equipment, all day, every day. Not being sexist in any way, but we are genuinely weaker.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. Not being sexist.
Although some women are stronger than some men, and
But overall, as a majority goes, we are. So shout out to those ladies down there, because that's really hard work and really difficult all the time. We have to lift heavy stuff, but it might be only a couple of times a day, not all day, every day like they have to.
So being an operator underground isn't like being I'm an operator.
Yeah.
But I sit in a truck. Or I don't do a grader now. I've chosen to let that one slide. Yeah. But grader, loader and stuff. So you're operating a machine. Yeah. But they operate a machine. But what is the physical stuff that they do? The lifting. What do they have to lift? That's heavy.
Some of the operators, they'll be in man baskets someday, and putting stuff up on the roof, with holding them up with ratchet straps, whether it be cables or hosing or pipe work. So they'll be doing all that. In the long haul, they have to pull like structure, like shorten the belt, which is all heavy metal stuff.
Right.
They have to take down parts of the monorail, which is what the cables and everything sit on, and that's super heavy. In development, they will have to put bolts up and bolt the roof up on the miner. And just nothing down there is light. Everything is just heavy. There's nothing really down there that's light. So
there's no light to see,
and
nothing is light.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, thanks for that. I hadn't even thought about that.
No, it's hard.
And is it noisy?
Yes, very noisy.
See, I hadn't thought of noise until last week.
No.
When the boys said, no, it's very noisy. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, really? I never thought of that.
I think because of because it's tunnels as well, and obviously sound goes through it. Also the ventilation, the fans are extremely loud. On the mine.
And you like that noise because that means
everything's going.
And you got air
taking
out all the bad air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the fans, in the longwall, the shearer's really loud when it's cutting along the face. That's super loud. You constantly got earplugs in, regardless. There's a lot of loud, and loaders and drift runners. They're even loud when they're going past, the cut throughs and that. Yeah, everything's just loud.
Yeah, right.
Noisy, makes a noise.
Yeah. Something else to think. It's good to do because to me it's just been a whole other world. My sister's partner is a jumbo operator in WA in Hard Rock, and they drill underground. I don't know, one of the big machines. And he doesn't like to have the lights off at home. And when they first met, she did a nice romantic dinner, put the candles on, turned on the lights, and he came in, turned off the lights, she did. Yeah. He came in, turned on the lights and said, I've been in the dark for 2 weeks.
Yeah, don't want
to be in the dark at home. Have you had that?
Yeah, I guess probably the thing that is most important in my life is when you go on the water, on the boat, or to the beach, or the sun, it just stings my eyes. It's so bright, so constantly wearing sunglasses. And sometimes when we're even coming off night shift and on the aeroplane or at the airport, you just got your sunnies on because you just can't handle the light. Your eyes are just so sensitive because they haven't had time to adjust, and you're also tired, which makes them even more sensitive. So literally, even some days down here when it's overcast or a bit glary, I just got my sunglasses on the whole time because it stings, and really it's quite painful. So it's not good. That part's not good for you.
No, it wouldn't be. And I find even when I do night shift that it's just so nice to see the day when you're on break.
Yeah.
Because, you've been up all night and it's dark. Even where we are. We have lighting plants that light up where we're being loaded and where we're dumping. The rest is just basically our headlights on our trucks where we're on the way. Yeah. And at the crib huts are lit up. Yeah. So, it's light, but it's still dark
everywhere,
nighttime. And then when it's the daylight and the sun's out, you're in your room asleep, trying to make it as dark as you can. Yeah. So you are in that darkness.
You're in the darkness for a whole tour until you finish, pretty much. Because day shift, underground especially. Day shift is black. You go up, it's nighttime. You go to sleep. Night shift, it's trying to make your room as black as possible day, and then night shift it's all dark down there anyway. Yeah. So regardless of what shift you are on, underground it's always dark. It's a week of darkness pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, it's just I'm never doing it. I kind of wouldn't mind just going down once, go down in a drifty. Yeah. Look at me in a drifty. Yeah. Go down in a drifty and go, oh yeah? It's dark down here. Yeah. Okay, there's a miner, there's a thing.
Yep,
all right,
let's go.
And then go back out and go, do the rocky thing at the top of the stairs.
Done it.
I did it. Yeah, and then that's me. I'd be if you can arrange that, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. That'd be your career as an underground miner.
Oh yeah, exactly.
20 minutes.
Let's move on a little. Is there anything else about underground that you are asked a lot about from your friends? What is there something that we haven't covered that when you're talking about what you do to other people is something that always comes up?
pretty much everything we've talked about, they ask me similar questions.
Yeah.
And then the people that are nosy are like money, talk about money.
Nosier than Mad Mumzie.
No, they just talk about money. They're like, so yeah, you must be on good money.
So how rich are you?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that thing. And you're like, well, dude, hang on. Like, I know when I'm here, I'm having fun and living it up. But up there, you do earn it at the end of the day.
That's right.
Some days you feel like, wow, I really deserve that.
Yeah. So it is good money, but we bloody work for it. Even us open cup.
Yeah, even you go.
Well, and because we're away from home.
Yeah,
and
things like that.
Yeah. And as an apprentice, you're probably getting less anyway. Are you? Than a tradie? Or?
Oh, yeah, definitely less, yeah. But it's still, apprenticeship, and my level of qualification is amazing.
It's not like being an apprentice mechanic at the local Redcliffe car shop.
Redcliffe. Yeah. I like how you added that in. It's nice.
Slip that in there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like when I go to TAFE, I do not talk about my income compared to them because they're all, house bashers, domestic electricians, and
so they're not on much.
No,
once they're qualified tradies,
qualified, they'll be on a bit more. But right now at this point in time, they're apprentices. So getting their
don't want to rub their noses in. But they too could, if they choose to,
for sure,
go and work in an underground mine if the opportunity comes up. Then they're not always there.
No, exactly. So they could.
So what? Leading on from that, what is your advice to someone who's listening to this and said, hell yeah, that's what I want to do. I could do that. How you said you got an alert from Seek?
Yes.
So can you just go into what you suggest for that?
Okay. If I've sold it to you, if you really want to do it, I would apply or just go online to the BMA website or Seek or whatever and put your email address in and sign up for the job alerts for the apprenticeships coming up. They do an intake in May every year, so you have to get your application in by the 30th of May, and then it will be for you to start the following year, so in January the following year. So they did they're going to do one in May 2017, and then you'll start in January 2018. So for sure, go on the BMA website. They do that every year. You just do the same process as I said before, what I did.
And some of the other large mining companies probably do that as well.
Yeah,
Rio Tinto's, Peabody, Glencore.
Well, I applied with Anglo American as well, and it was all very similar process. Yeah. They all did it, very similarly. So just, go on to Seek and even maybe type in mining apprenticeships as your job alert, and then you would get all of them. So, definitely go and do it.
Yeah, that's good.
And BMA's trying to get, I think it's 20% by 2020, I think.
20% of what?
20% female workforce. 20%. Sorry.
That's all right. I knew what you meant.
And so chicks, got a pretty good chance at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got a pretty amazing opportunity to apply for it all right now and probably go a long way with it. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend it to the girls listening. Yeah. If there is any girls listening.
Of course there is. Girls and boys.
Yeah.
And, even if you're a mum, I don't know so much. Do they do adult apprentices?
Yes, they do adult apprenticeships. We've got 2 adult apprentices at our site.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they're putting on a 3rd one. Yeah. So, they do take in adults. Yeah.
Because you could discuss it with your family and perhaps the husband could stay home. Yeah. And he might go, hell yeah, about time.
Yeah. Well,
I want your cushy job. Yeah, go for it, mate. Make sure you get the kids ready for school. Yeah. And I'm going away for a week.
Yeah, exactly. I talk to this a lot about with guys at work, and I said to them, I was like, do you think times are changing? Do you think women are going to be the ones working away and the dad's going to be the stay-at-home dad? Do you think that's going to happen? And they're all like, yeah, probably. Because
I think it is happening. Yeah. It is starting to happen.
Exactly.
Look at House Husbands, that show.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all at home. Must be true if it's on the telly.
Yeah. And it's not just I don't think it's just BMA doing it. It's every company's doing it right now. They all want a diverse workforce, which is fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah. So, it's cool. Really cool.
Good times. Good times. So, what do you think it takes for a woman to thrive and survive in the mining industry?
Okay, that's a tough one. Because of all the factors I said in the show, you've got to be prepared and very adaptable. Like, you have to adapt to everyone's personality. You've got to be understanding that all blokes aren't going to be 100% happy with you being down there, like especially underground. They're not all going to love it.
And open cut, I like that.
Yeah, if it's the same with where you work. They're not all going to be completely happy, because we are going in there. We're spicing up their boys' club that's been their boys' club for so long, and so you've got to accept that some guys are going to be like that. You've got to sort of accept that some of them are going to be grumpy some days, and that's just how it goes anyway. There's like every day is going to be different down there, so very adaptable, I would say. Make sure your personality is adaptable, your body's adaptable to shift changes and stuff like that. And I think deep down you do have to have like I don't know how to say this nicely, but a strong sort of personality, like secure. You can't be insecure with yourself. I don't think you can lack in too much confidence, because otherwise they'll just get to you. They'll get like every part of you down. You'll probably feel like, I hate to say it, bluntly
and brutally. I think you were trying to say both.
Both at the same time. Yeah, awesome.
They both work.
I hate to sound like that, but yeah, you will fall apart if you don't maintain that secureness. If you're insecure, because part of being down there is we pay each other out and have laughs about it. But if you take that seriously and you take that in, you're not going to be able to sleep at night. You're going to go home thinking about it. You're going to be on your breaks thinking about it, and it'll just end up stressing you out. So pretty much once you leave the gate, like in the mornings or in the evenings, once you finish your shift or your tour, that's it. You forget what happened in there, apart from the learning stuff. Remember all the stuff that tradesmen taught you.
Remember the good bits.
Remember the stuff that you need
and
to know.
Lessons,
But you forget all that stuff and you don't take that home with you. That's the most important part. Like, you've got to keep it completely separate, because otherwise it'll wreck your time at home, and then you'll come back to work and you won't have, rejuvenated or feel refreshed from your break, and you'll come back with, the same sort of attitude. If not, you might be feel even lower. So yeah, that's really important. Don't let them boys get to you. Yeah. Don't let, if they're in a grumpy mood and they might have a go at you about something, but at the end of the day, if it's something constructive, if they're having a go at you because they're sick of you, if it's constructive yelling, then take it in, because they've obviously held in long enough that now they just have had to tell you so many times. Then definitely take it in. But if it's just they're just being grumpy because they've had a bad day or something bad's going on behind the scenes,
stuff can happen. You think it's about you, and it might be something that's going on at home, something you don't even know about. Yeah,
exactly. You might just be the closest person at that time. So don't take any of that stuff to heart ever. And that's really important. And just respect your tradesmen as well. Like, or trades people now. That's what the new word I've got to say. But I definitely have a lot of respect for them, because they're in that position because they have a lot of knowledge, and they're going to be able to. They're going to shape who you become as a tradeswoman. Like, all that knowledge and information. And at the end of the day, if you don't listen or don't care, they're not going to show you. They're not going to show you everything, and then that's going to jeopardise your opportunity of becoming a successful tradesperson. So yeah, listen and respect them, and even if they're telling you something that another one has told you, they might show you a different way to do it, a faster technique, something like that. So just listen to it, just in case one word
don't
is
think
different.
I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely don't do that. I just, every time one of them sits down, because they're taking the time out of their day to sit down and explain it to me, I'm not going to brush them or not listen to them. So yeah, that's really important for girls, because sometimes girls can be a bit sassy and a bit snarky at certain things. So that's another piece of advice I'd give.
That's awesome advice. And Mad Mumzie listeners know that that's got a lot to do with why I do what I do, is because when I started, I did take everything on board. I didn't join in with their mucking around. I took everything personally. I was a mess. I was an emotional mess. I was dreaming the whole time I was at home. I was dreaming of nightmares about being in the pit. And then I'd wake up and go, oh, my God, I've got to go and do it now. And I'd get yelled at on the dump and I'd be crying in my truck all the time. And it was so much more than I thought. But I was broken because I just got out of a relationship. 6 weeks later, I'm driving a truck on a crew of 60 men.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't ready. You know, I had no right to be.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But I look back now and it's made me who I am today.
Exactly.
And it's also inspired me to share not only my story, which is how it started out, but now other people like yourselves' stories, to then help others to see that just because someone's yelling at you, they might not actually hate you.
No.
Personally.
No, you just might be in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
That's right, and it can be so many things, and just to not to take everything personally, join in on their bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, they're having a laugh and, you know,
exactly.
there are lines and you've got to know when to cross them, when not to say something because that person's there. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's
Definitely.
so much to it. But
I would encourage everyone to get involved with the
Can't beat
banter that goes down on there. Like,
can't beat them, join them.
That's it. That's right, 100%.
Yeah. To a certain extent as well. And still be yourself. Bring you to the table as well.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, and your morals and ethics. Like, you don't want them eroding your deep down core values.
No way. Stick to them for sure, 100% all the time.
And, you know, like you, I'm sure, helping other people down there, the blokes, just have a bit more fun and just calm the fuck down sometimes. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, just chill out.
Yeah, true.
Let's just do it.
You have to have that sort of chill out sense as well. Sometimes I don't do very well with that because I don't know, I like being on top of things and organised, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to get this done, this has to be done. But sometimes you should just take a step back and just chill
just
out.
have a breath.
Yeah.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I agree with that too.
Yeah. So I also like to ask my guests, what is your happy place? What is it that you do that you really love that helps you just to escape all the crap that may or may not be going on in your world right now? Okay.
This sounds cheesy. Really cheesy and really girly. I'm sorry.
You're a girl, see? Own it, mate. Own it, sister.
But seriously, like, when things are going on in my head and, like, you know, when this, you know it's getting too much and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to go do something, otherwise it's going to eat me up. I go do Pilates. Like, I love Pilates. Wow. It's awesome. Because really, like, the core values of Pilates is, like, focusing on breathing and, you know, switching on some body parts, switching off, isolating other body parts. And, like, you're just constantly trying to think about that and you just think about your body and breathing. That really, like, it's hard, but it really relaxes you. Like, sometimes, you know, it burns and stuff, but it's a really good relaxation technique, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I love it. And so I can do that in my lounge room in Moranbah, or I can do that at a class down here in Brisbane, or I can do that anywhere. You can do it anywhere, as long as you know a few moves. Yeah, it's That's really awesome. Good for you. Like, I think it's really good for you.
And it's also helping you physically for the demands of your job. But it sounds like you're doing it more for your mind.
Mentally, yeah. Probably I do it more for my mind, actually. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's really
Thanks
good.
for sharing that.
That's okay. Oh, it's a bit girly, but I don't just go down to the pub and crack open a few
what are you trying to say, that those of us that want to do that are wrong?
No. If that's how that works for you, yeah. But I was probably thinking that's what I should have said, but I don't do that when I'm stressed out.
There's no should-haves on the Beers with the Miner podcast. It's just a conversation and what works for you, and that's what I love. So many people do so many different things. Some people go fishing. Yeah. You know, some people just want to watch the footy. Yeah. Other people want to be with family, hang out with the kids, go and play Keno. Yeah. You know, exactly. So many varying degrees.
Everyone would have their own different happy spot.
But the reason I bring it up is to get people to start thinking, what is their happy thing and how often do you actually do it? And so with mental health and suicide and so many things, if we are feeling ourselves slide into that deeper, darker, not just an underground darkness, but a deeper, darker feeling and emotions, if you conscious and think every now and again, and which is why I like to remind people, what can I do that I like?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go and do that.
Yeah.
Instead of sliding further and further down, you just never know where you're going to end up.
And you'll go, keep going down that spiral until you pick yourself out of it. I think probably the most important thing about having a happy place is it has to be mobile. Like, you have to take it everywhere you go. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just have, I just go to this one place and it's only here that I can find myself again. You have to be able to take it anywhere you go. Because
that's a great tip.
Yeah, well, especially for jobs like ours where, you're either flying or driving in and out, and you have to be able to have it, at work, because you have bad days at work, you have bad days at home. You've got to have it everywhere you go. Just like how I have, like, face products, like, everywhere I go. Just in every house I go to, there's just more stuff I have to buy.
And I guess that comes into it, like, so say if someone's favourite thing is going fishing, you're sitting in a donga and it's 43 degrees and you can't sleep and you've got to go to sleep, something like, what the hell am I doing here? This sucks. And when I did the episode about make your donga more homely, I'll leave a link in the show notes for this, madmumzie.com/beers33, the number 33. And it's, say, bring a photo of your boat. You can take that in your work bag. Yeah. You can put it up by your kettle. Well, not at work. In your donga. You can put it up and look at it. Yeah, and think, I'm only here because I'm going to do that on break. Yeah, exactly. Okay, you can't take your boat with you. No. But if that is your happy place, you can sit there and, I would say, meditate about your boat. Yeah. But we won't say that because the blokes probably go, meditate. That's what I think. I don't do meditate. But you might look at your boat and go, right, now next break I'm going to paint that. I'm going to, whatever they do to boats. Yeah. Just as an example, take a little piece of it with you. If it's family, bring a picture of the kids or something that they've drawn for you. So many things like that. But that's a great tip. Make it mobile. I love it. Awesome. I love it. Right, you ready for a quick lightning round? Okay. What's your favourite roster? Okay, well, I've only ever done one. So that's your favourite? So I'll have to say that one because I haven't tried any others. Which is the lifestyle roster with one pyjama day a month. Yeah, it's good to have that pyjama day because you can get a few things done that you don't normally get done on that day. I've done pyjama days and I honestly didn't mind them at all, but I know people who hate them. They see them as a wasted day, sitting at camp all day. Yeah. Maybe, which I can see how that could be as well. Yeah, and I don't have like a husband or kids or, like anything stopping me, so it's not really a wasted day to me. I'm like, I could use this day to get this done, this done, this done, and so that's how I look at it. Exactly. I don't see, I'm missing. And when I was doing my pyjama day, I was learning and starting my podcast, and I was writing for Shift Miner, and so I always had stuff to do on the computer. Yeah. I'm like beauty all day to type. What is your night shift routine? So when I'm for sleeping and it's very normal and it's not different. I wish I could say it was different, but it's not. Get home, make myself a little bit of breakfast and make my room as dark as possible, and then I'd be a real girl and put like the sleeping mask over my eyes, earplugs in. Earplugs in too, because sometimes my neighbour he's into like metal music, so sometimes if he's off, that's blasting. Yeah. So always put the earplugs in, and I think he has a couple, like two or three or maybe 4 kids, because at 3 p.m. every day they're like, I can hear some screaming in the backyard, so I'm like, okay, definitely earplugs in like every day. So yeah, earplugs and shut my blinds, make it all dark. Do you drink tea and coffee? Not much. I drink probably 1 cup of coffee on a night shift, and that's about it. Yeah, because I try to not have a tea or coffee at second crib, which is around 3 to 4:30, because that'll keep me awake. But if I feel like something, I might. You haven't got a microwave, poor pet. But I'd put a cup of milk in the microwave and have warm milk. Okay. So that doesn't wake me up, but I still feel like I'm having a cuppa at crib. But that's something to be aware of. You might be fine. You might still be able to go to sleep straight away after coffee.
Everyone's different.
Yeah, and to work through those different routines. Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot, even working with my different tradesmen and making them, because now it's gone around site that, I make the coffees when I go down there.
So you're the barista girl putting in their orders.
Yeah, no matter which department I'm in, somehow end up making the coffees, but I don't mind. But yeah, you're right, some fellas can have a coffee at like 5 a.m. in the morning, like an hour and a half before we finish, and I'm like,
you won't sleep.
Yeah, but they go to sleep. And so everyone is completely different. So whatever routine works for them, I guess they should just go for it and do it every time.
Yeah. And be aware that your routine can change and be flexible in it. And don't beat yourself up. One of my biggest tips about night shift is don't beat yourself up if you're not sleeping. No. There's nothing worse than laying there going, oh my God, I should be asleep, and hitting your head on the pillow. Yeah. I just think if I'm in bed and I'm in my jammies, and I've got the aircon cranked right up and I've got the blankie on. And at least it's like I'm asleep. Yeah, exactly. I might not actually be asleep, but I'm in bed. And then you'll find half the time you'll drop off anyway.
You're still relaxing.
Exactly.
Like, you're still, And sometimes it takes people an hour to unwind, or sometimes it takes them 5 minutes. So however long it takes you to unwind, I guess.
Yeah, just work through it.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do with your old PPE? Do you get a clothing issue every year? Boots? Or do you go through your PPE a lot quicker? Like boots?
Boots, we definitely go through.
You call it PPE?
Yeah.
Protective personal equipment. I'm thinking, what is it?
Yeah.
PPE, I've only been hearing it 13 years. It's PPE, that's what it is.
Well, our boots we definitely go through pretty fast, but...
How often?
Probably actually my first pair lasted a year and a half, and these other pair.
But the first 5 months you went
underground. So probably a year, I'd say. You get good use out of them. Our clothes, I'm BMA, so we're very lucky people. They wash our clothes for us.
They wash your clothes?
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did know that.
Yes.
Yeah, you put it in a bag. How does that work?
So we walk in, say you come in finishing off shift, we walk in through the dirty side of the bathhouse, and we have big laundry hampers, and we put our dirty clothes in, go into the showers, have a shower, and then on the other side we've got a clean locker where all their clean clothes are that they put back in there after they've washed them. So we're really lucky.
Do they iron them?
No ironing. Well, I don't think they iron them.
Probably put them in the dryer and fold them up.
They just hang. No, they put them all on coat hangers and hanging in our locker for us when we get there. So we're really lucky.
So you don't wear your work clothes home?
I wear my clean set home too. So in the morning when I come back for shift,
right?
I'm in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're very lucky. I know it's a bit unfortunate for the contractors. They have to go back to camp and put them in their washing machines at camp.
Yeah. And they don't always use the washing machines that say dirty.
Dirty.
Just chuck them in whatever one's free. You'd see that at camp.
When you put your nice tops in with those ones, they don't come out the same colour.
So with the bathhouses, which is the showers, do they have individual showers, or do they all just stand there and in jail and wash off?
For the blokes ones, they're all open.
So, really?
Yeah. But the girls ones, we have our own private cubicles, which is nice.
Yeah.
You can shut the door.
Yeah. Could the guys go in a private cubicle one if they wanted to, or is that on a separate side, it's ladies and men's?
Oh, yeah, we've got our own end to the bathhouse, so there's a big wall in between ours. I don't know if they have cubicles in theirs.
Because you haven't... You're not a bloke, go in there.
I don't go in there.
We'll ask the real miner.
I don't go in there.
Well, because some men might feel uncomfortable showering in front of other blokes.
Yeah.
We just see it as that's what blokes do.
Yeah.
But everyone's different, and if you're not used to, say a guy's listening to this going, hell yeah, I could work underground. Oh, what do you mean? I've got to shower with all the blokes.
Yeah. No.
Maybe that's why they don't wash very well, because they all just go, get out.
Getting quick and out. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure there's some guys, they never will admit it to us, and they'll never admit it to their work friends, but I'm sure there's some guys that don't feel 100% comfortable, but
yeah.
They've just got to do it, I think. If they want to go home and sit in their car, they've got to do if they want to be clean.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you just have to do.
Yeah.
But it's funny in our bathhouse there is where the roof goes across, there's the cables and stuff, there's a bit of an opening. So as you can imagine, a bunch of rowdy blokes when they've come in after shift, We can hear their conversations. So just heads up, guys, at Broadmeadows, I hear everything you talk about in the showers, because I'm usually in there showering by myself, or there's only one other girl around, so we're pretty silent. And
I was going to say they can hear yours as well, probably.
Well,
but you don't.
There's not many of us. There's only a few of us, and we're all on different shifts and times and crews. So there's usually only one of us in there at any one time, so we can hear all their conversations, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So what about your hard hats? Do you have you got your pink one and your, what are you now, currently yellow?
Yeah, I kept my first pink one.
Right.
Yeah. And I kept my yellow one.
Yeah. And are they...
a bit sentimental though.
Yeah. Are they hanging up in your room? Or
oh no, they're still in my locker at work.
Oh, so, yeah.
But I've just kept them because, I don't know, they've got a bit of meaning. And,
absolutely. You work bloody hard to get that next colour hat.
Yeah, and people like, even though they're not supposed to, people have drawn pictures on them and written stuff, so it's cool. Like, you got to keep that, even though most of it's covered in coal, but still.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And my mum, they ended up with a whole pile of hard hats because we didn't. Different sites have different coloured hard hats, and so we just end up with hard hats. But they put wire on them, turned them upside down, drilled a hole in the bottom, put wire on them, and planted petunias in them.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's so cool.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
And because you've still got the stickers and stuff. And I've kept all mine.
Yep.
And I've got them in my shed hanging up with a few other mining things.
Oh, cool.
That I've got a couple of cat hats and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the stickers. I like the stickers more than that. And it reminds me, that was when I was at that, because I've been to 4 mines, I think.
Yeah.
Now, 4 or 5 maybe. Okay, so here come the big questions. I think we might have actually covered a couple of these. The real miner said, I have to ask you these questions and that you'll know what they mean. And I kind of understand them a bit more now than I did last night. I might show you that. The first one, ask her about turtles.
Okay. So I told you earlier on my relationship with turtles.
Which was that you did the turtle
rehab centre.
Rehab on which?
Fitzroy Island.
Fitzroy Island, which is out of Brisbane?
Cairns.
Cairns, that's right.
It's about an hour boat trip from Cairns. So everyone said, "Oh, you've turned your back on the turtles now, hey?" Because
is this what the miners were saying to you?
Yeah.
Bloody men, making you feel guilty. For I
already feel guilty. And,
no.
It's really funny. I was having a good joke about I'm not trying to toot my own horn or sell myself here, but if you type in my name in Google, all this environmental stuff comes up about when I was younger and 15. So you type in my name and all these videos and photos come up of me with turtles and stuff like that. And I was just everyone was saying, oh, just wait for a couple of years and then that will come up with all stuff from BMA and coal mining and that. And it's already happened when I got that award yesterday. Yes. There's a link just below. It says teen on a mission to save turtles or something. And the next link says Queensland Resource finalist Women in Mining Award. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's already happened.
So for all of your crew members listening, you were right.
Yes, they were right. 100%. It's already happened and Google knows about it. So the turtles know about it.
Well, and I'll leave links to those in the show notes as well, so other people can have, if you want. Well, they can just Google it, they'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's the turtle joke. That you've turned your back on the turtles and your coal mining will overtake on Google.
Yeah, and it's almost started.
Oh my God, and wait, now you're Beers with a Miner.
Oh, yeah. That will be up on the next
Google rankings.
At least I'm on there for a variety of things, not just one thing.
The other one was sailing around the world.
Okay, so didn't make it quite all the way around. We've done halfway. So when in 2006, my parents bought a boat on the east coast of America, in a town just south of New York, and we sent over 1.1 tonnes of equipment in a shipping container, and we loaded that onto the boat that we bought. We bought a 41-foot sailing boat, and we sailed it down the east coast of America, through the Bahamas, through a bit of the Caribbean, to Panama Canal. We went through the Panama Canal, and then we spent the next 12 months taking it across the Pacific, stopping at all the islands along the Pacific, Galapagos, Marquesas, all of French Polynesia, Tahiti, Bora Bora. Then we went up to the Cook Islands, where I had my 11th birthday up there. then down to Tonga, Fiji, Vanuatu, and to Brisbane. So that took 12 months, and I got homeschooled year 6 on the boat by my mum, which was amazing. And awesome.
Oh, wow. Thanks for telling us all that. No wonder you wanted to say turtles and stuff, because you'd seen them out there. Wow. All right, last one. Dog sledding through Russia at 15.
Gosh, he's got good memory.
He has,
I'm impressed. He got all that right. So
you even got the age right.
Yeah, that was correct.
See, that's a good tradesman.
That is a good trading.
But don't tell him.
So when I was 15, I got selected on those expeditions. As I said, they were environmentally based expeditions, all sponsored ones. And one of them took us to Russia. And I just turned 15, and we went to the far eastern peninsula in Russia called Kamchatka. And it's just north of Japan, actually, just the peninsula north of Japan. We went there in December, so middle of winter, freezing cold, like freezing, minus 35 degrees.
That's more freezing than we can imagine, or me.
Yeah. Windy, snowy, cold, but anyway, awesome. And, we got our own pack of 8 sled dogs, and we, put our tents in the little sleds, and we had our backpacks and, our hiking equipment. And what we do is we use the dogs all day as a form of transport, because it's all environmental based,
Yeah.
We're not going to drive around in cars or anything.
Oh, no hypocrites here.
Yeah. I know. And biggest hypocrite, anyway.
No, sorry, not having a go. I'm not.
And so we would, use the dogs all day during the day, and, give them salmon heads to munch on from, because we used to get, they used to get fresh salmon out of the rivers and the streams there, and so we used to give them salmon heads, keep them happy, and then we would use them and then camp at night, set up camp, and then the next day we had a glaciologist with us from the University of Munich, and we did a few different studies there, which was actually pretty cool. She ended up writing a 60-page report on our findings, and we did different sample, we tested the snow. So what we'd do is we'd dig out a metre deep, and she could actually tell us the different layers in the snow, and she could gather data. We took samples and stuff like that, and she could gather data from each layer and see how much CO2 emissions was in each layer, because it didn't all melt all melt in summer there. So she was amazing, and so we did stuff like that. We hiked up to the top of a couple of volcanoes, and we had to rope together because of crevasses and stuff, which was pretty interesting.
You had a life.
And one girl did fall down, but it only went up to her neck, thank goodness. And then after that, we tied together. But that was cool. It's such a good adventure. So yes, amazing experience to have at 15. And I'd done awesome stuff like that, but it was all with my parents, and I was a lot younger. But this, I travelled there by myself. All the people I met were new people, I'd never been, met them before or been with them. So it was so new and so fresh, and I was 15, and I was the youngest one by about 4 years. So
really?
The other girls and boys, they were 19, 20 and 21. Because it was, you had to be aged between 15 and 21 to apply for these expeditions. So the guy who set this program up, Mike, he was really involved with just getting young people on these expeditions, because he said what you said, young people are going to change the world. Our parents, it's too late, they don't care, they're just living it up, It's all about us now to make these changes, so that's why I set the target. But because obviously Russia, middle of winter, high risk expedition, they didn't really want to take any youth, minors, minors. Not
you made it funny. Get it, minors.
The other minors with the O.
Yeah, minors. I'll tell you a quick story. I submitted a podcast question to a podcast that I listen to about podcasting.
Yeah,
right? You get your head around that. And it came up, and we've got Mad Mumzie from Beers with a Miners. Oh, this doesn't sound right. And should I mark my episodes as explicit on iTunes, even if there's no swearing in one episode?
Yeah.
But it ended up being just mark them all explicit, then don't matter, because you can get kicked off iTunes if you swear and you don't warn it.
Yeah.
And he said, mining. I was a bit worried there for a minute. Beers with kids and swearing. And I was horrified when I heard it. This went around the world on this podcast thing. Oh, my God.
That's
anyway,
funny.
sorry.
No, that's funny. That's a good story.
So they didn't want younger than 15?
No younger than 15. But on my trip specifically, they tried to get them over 18.
Yeah.
So I was the youngest one, which was even cooler. I thought I was pretty mad.
Yeah. And I suppose, too, maybe a lot of parents of 15-year-olds would have said, you're not going on that one.
No, and...
It sounds a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
But your parents seem pretty cool.
Yeah. They were just like, just go. That's the best opportunity. Just take it and run with it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and there was, unfortunately, like another girl. She was 16. She got selected, but her parents rang up with all these concerns and worries, so then she got taken out of the trip because of her parents. And I was like, my parents were like the complete opposite. They were like, just go, take it, run with it. So that was sad for her, but I do understand why some parents are like that.
Yeah. You look back when you've got kids and go, oh my God, how did my parents let me do all of this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, well, it certainly sounds like you're having a fantastic life, and it's been an absolute delight to sit down and have a chat with you after hearing about you for all these years from the Real Miner. He's so excited that we met up.
I'm so excited we met up. That was awesome.
Now, is there anything else that you would like to say to call this interview complete for you?
No, I don't think so. Thank you for having me on here, and thanks for letting me talk about work. Like, that's awesome. Because I love my job, I love talking about it, so thank you.
That's awesome. And then next time you're at a party and someone says to you, why do you work underground? What's that like? Just say, here, go and listen to this. I've already answered all these questions 1,000 times.
Yeah, we'll advertise Mad Mumzie podcast.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your story and shedding some light. Get it? Light. On the darkness of underground mining. And I'll just do my outro. Yeah. And then we'll head off. Could you hear my stomach rumbling?
Yeah, you came for lunch.
I'll have to edit that out. So it's time to say goodbye now. We could chat all day, and I have been known to. We're off to lunch at the beachfront, and no doubt a cold beer will be on the cards. It's tradition. Or perhaps, what was it? A gin and...
Hendrick's.
Gin
and tonic.
Yeah, sounds a bit much for Mad Mumzie. I'll stick to my beer.
Your 4X card.
Yeah, that's it. You're onto it. The Real Miner is on night shift, so he'll be sleeping, but I know he'll be happy that we caught up. He might even listen to this episode. Thanks again, Saraya. And all the links we discussed in this episode can be found in the show notes at madmumzie.com/beers33. That's Mad Mumzie with a Z or a Z, depending where you're from. MUMZIE and the number 33. Be sure to subscribe in your favourite podcast app so that you never miss an episode. Or you can always listen on the website as well. Just head to madmumzie.com/beers and please share with your mates. Until next week, stay safe, be real, be special and have fun, for we only live once. Cheers.